Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we got another story for you from the past. Guys, this one just stood out to me. I was looking through some of my old tackle and it just popped into my head, and it's like, yeah, I remember that day, and I'll never forget that day because 30 years ago this happened and I've never seen it happen again. And I fished a lot of places, caught a lot of fish, but this was a once in a lifetime experience. Okay guys, what I'm talking about is I was in junior high. Me and a buddy of mine used to fish this farm pond. We knew the girl. She went to school with us and her family owned the farm pond. Absolute giants. I mean, the pond was full of good bass from 1 to 2 to maybe even close to over 10 pounds. I got one of the giants eventually, but you know, we're talking absolute monsters, guys. Like, easily could have been state record. Alright, again, wish I'd had a video something, but this was back in the early 90s. I didn't carry a Polaroid camera with me. Hell, I didn't even carry a disposable camera with me, and there was no such thing as the internet or cell phones. So as the story would go, guys, we're down there and we're fishing the dam. It's about this time of the year, you know, so we're on the dam part of the pond, and this sparrow comes down. He's about, I don't know, 6 to 8 inches above the water. And he's flying across maybe about 5-6 feet out from the dam, and he's flying across. All of a sudden this 3.5 pounder comes right up out of the water, takes this sparrow out mid-flight. Just destroys it. All you see is feathers floating over the water. And we're like, what the hell? You know, because we never seen anything like that. So at the time I was using a lure that you hear a lot of YouTubers talk about, the original. Guys, the original they haven't shown you yet, and I'm about to, because the original was the best. What lure am I talking about? I'm talking about none other than the Banjo Minnow. Guys, this minnow right here, it's over 30 years old, and that is the original. That is the very first Banjo Minnow they came out with. This would have been in the time, the flying lure. There was a lure that lit up and supposed to bring bass. You know, you put a battery in it or whatever and it flash and do all kinds of goofy stuff. Gimmick, but whatever. There was a lot of that on Just As Seen on TVs. But that lure was no damn gimmick. I was using it, and using one probably about this size here. Okay, that was their medium size there. That might be like the 3.5 inch minnow. I believe it was the black and silver color, actually, like this guy here. This was their biggest one. I cast it out past some feathers. And the technique that I would use is I let it fall like it's dying, and I go twitch, 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 and I'd swim up, and I'd let it die about halfway and twitch, and then let it die. Man, that damn fish would come unwound. It was nothing for me to outfish a crankbait, a ribbon-tail worm, a lizard, a spinnerbait, a rattle trap. You know, it was just one right after another with that lure. Anyhow, I cast it out past the feathers there, and I'm working that lure. I get about, I don't know, 2 feet from where the feathers were originally floating. I was like, there ain't no way that bass that just ate a bird's going to take a lure, but you know, we're trying, because we were out there catching fish and having a good time. And all of a sudden, wham! I set the hook. And guys, as I'm rolling in, there's feathers coming to the surface, and my buddy's like, I think you got the bass that ate the bird. I said, yeah, I think I did. Couldn't get it in. It was a nice bass, about, I would say at least 3.5 pound bass, largemouth. And I take the hook out, and when you look down in his gullet, all you seen was tail feathers from that bird. He had already swallowed the entire bird. We're talking minutes, but he ate the bird, then he come up and ate the Banjo Minnow. Guys, that was just a fun time. I mean, that lake was loaded with big ones. The Banjo Minnow would come out again for me for another round of epic fish catches when I caught the big. There was like 3 giants that him and his brother would talk about, and one day we were up on that same dam right where I would catch the bird-eating bass. And like I said, I've fished all over the place. That was the only time I've watched a bass come right up out of the water and take a sparrow or any type of bird for that matter out of midair and just eat it. For me, that was the first time, and I've done a lot of fishing. But anyhow, we were there, and one of the giants was there just kind of hanging out around the dam, and he says, I'm going to catch that. And he put a bluegill on a hook, and he threw it out there, and sure enough, that bass ate the bluegill. He set the hook. After about a minute or two of fighting the damn thing, broke his hook. I said, well, I'm going to try, because for whatever reason, it was just hunting right there for that particular day. I threw the banjo minnow out past him, and I twitch, let it die, twitch. As I got close to him, twitch, and was letting it die, and I went twitch, and that sucker grabbed that. Set the hook, brought it in. Guys, that damn bass was like, I kid you not, mouth on him like that, just an absolute monster farm pond bass. Guys, I'm not trying to endorse the banjo minnow. As a matter of fact, I'm doing the opposite. This was a great lure. They did something to screw it up. For you guys that don't know, the original would have a screw lock that went into it with 2 little rubber buttons. Then they would give you a rubber band if you wanted to make it weaseless. And you had, this would have been the medium size, then they had a little one, and they had the big one. I only have a few colors left. That's how good these worked. Right out of the package, guys, they all swam. They were deadly. I mean, they weren't the greatest colors in the world, but look, the action did all the work. I talk from experience, guys, because as I'm going to show you here, this is all full of banjo minnows. Okay, guys? I believe this was their second gen, their second run at it. You had to insert the eyes in and then put the hook through the eye. They had a little plastic clip, put the hook through it. Guys, when it worked well. But the problem was, that whole box, each pack, each kit, I got one damn minnow that would swim like it was supposed to, like the banjo minnow claims it will. And the rest were sticks. Guys, if I want to fish with a stick, I'll pull one off the tree. That's how bad, they were terrible. Didn't matter if it was the little one, the big one, you got one good one for $50 or $60 a kit, and the rest were garbage. That whole box is full of sticks, other than the original banjo minnows. And I won't use those because you'll never get them again. Unless you're damn lucky and you find an old guy that has the original kit from the 1990s and, you know, it has all the big bodies in there and stuff, but I have not seen any like that. You know, you can find these generations afterwards, but those originals, no. And like I said, guys, you see YouTubers talking, different ones. I think Richard Basson did a original banjo minnow video. He didn't have the original. This is truly the original. This is the very first one ever made. Okay, they were awesome. Guys, if you ever had a lure, this is how far I'm going to go with it. If you ever had a lure that you thought, man, this is going to turn out to be illegal to use, that was it. Everything after it, garbage. But those, straight out of the pack, every one of them, perfect. Guys, I just thought it would be a fun story to share with you, and just something I was looking around and I was like, yeah, I remember, you know, I used to have a ton of fun, caught a ton of fish on that lure. And now I wouldn't buy them if you paid, I wouldn't take them if you gave them to me, okay? They look like I said, in my experience, I always got one out of the entire pack that worked, and then the rest were shit. So if the lip, you know, if it, because the screw lock after so many fish, you know, the little would start to rip the lip or something, or you'd break off or whatever, you know, you were done. You had to go buy another $50 kit to get one more bait. And I'm sorry, that's just a little ridiculous. Maybe you guys have had a better experience with them, but I tried their newest model. Same thing. As a matter of fact, I don't think any of them in that kit swam correctly, and I got pissed and sent it back. It was a birthday gift for my stepson, and I told him, I said, get your money back. This is ridiculous. They all swam like sticks. Just no action whatsoever. Maybe you guys had better luck and I just had terrible luck, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. It helps this channel out tremendously, and I appreciate it greatly. And guys, if you have any stories you want to share, or any lures like the Banjo Minnow that, you know, they just had that whatever, you know. That thing looks so realistic when it swam. It caught everything. But if you ever, you know, if you had stories of the original Banjo Minnow or a different lure, please leave in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you guys. Or if you want to add something, please leave in the comments below. Love to hear, like I said, love to hear from you guys. Okay guys, I just thought this would be a fun video to share. If you want to share some of your stories, I'd love to hear from you. Like I said, it's just nice to be able to share stories with fellow fishermen and let it live on through their eyes. And vice versa, you can share them with me and let me live it through your eyes. Alright guys, well, I guess we'll see you on the next one. Till then, see you later.